Thank you for having me. My felicitations, my greetings, and my salutations to all viewers both home and abroad. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much.
Last year, our foreign exchange reserve stood at 48 billion US dollars as of June 2022. As of August 2023, our foreign exchange reserves has plummeted to 23.8 billion US dollars. And first and foremost, as you understand, we have had a phenomenal export growth record. Our exports have grown by 33%, and today our export balance for the fiscal year 2022-2023 stands at 52 billion US dollars. However, our import bill presently stands at 82 billion US dollars. So as you understand, there is a fundamental trade deficit that equates to approximately negative 30 billion US dollars. Thankfully, however, because of our extremely vibrant and dynamic diaspora, we have around 15 million Bangladeshis that are presently living abroad. They repatriate approximately, they remit back approximately 20 billion to 22 billion US dollars per fiscal year. And the Bangladeshi Central Bank failed to impose a comprehensive, a proactive monetary policy. As a result, what happened was the value of the Bangladeshi taka fell by almost 25% in less than 6 months. This made our import bills 25% more expensive. We have to understand that loan is disbursed with depositors' funds. Who are the beneficiaries of these loan disbursements? If you look at Islami Bank, for instance, which is one of the largest private banks in the country, as well as in South Asia. Total deposits, again, 15 billion US dollars. However, the total loan disbursements of depositors' funds has been close to 14.1 billion US dollars. If a particular conglomerate or a family is being allocated close to 30% of total depositors' funds, if we do not stringently do an autopsy before disbursing debt, then we risk the safety and the sanctity of investors' assets, which is the depositors' assets in this case. Today, our GDP per capita stands at 2,800 US dollars. It's phenomenal. According to the GDP per capita stats, each Bangladeshi makes 3,20,000 taka per fiscal year, which equates to around 27,000 taka per month. Can you assure me that in Rangpur, Kurigram, Lalmonirhat, Faridpur, Madaripur, Shariatpur, Rajbari, that every single Bangladeshi national is making 27,000 taka per month? So as you understand that, we cannot live in denialism. We cannot deny the reality of the grounds. We cannot deny the economic reality of our people. And without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest beneficiaries of our present economic system has been the top 1%. And I would be biased to say top 1%. It's the 1% of the 1%. I propose to the Bangladeshi government that we should not build our economy on a pyramid scheme where the top 500 or 1,000 families control the entirety of our state assets. That cannot be the spirit of our economic liberation. That is not the reason why we fought for our liberation. And this clearly shows that the trickle-down economic theory does not work. We need a revitalized, a transformative bottom-up economic approach. In the present fiscal year of 2023-2024, we have declared a budget worth 70 billion US dollars across 8 divisions in Bangladesh, across 64 districts, across 4,554 unions, 327 municipalities, across 12 city corporations, across 465 city corporation wards, across 49,500 union level wards, across 86,000 villages. If the government budget was divided in uniformity across all districts, each district gets an allocation of $1 billion every fiscal year. Over a 5-year tenure, each district gets an allocation of 5 billion US dollars. We could completely abolish poverty. We could completely abolish homelessness. We could ensure financial dignity for all. We could give educational sanctity for all. We could assure healthcare for all. There is no shortage of funds in Bangladesh. What we do have is a tremendous misallocation of taxpayers' resources, of state resources. And without administrative decentralization, with provincial systems of governance, with district level governments, we cannot trickle down the reaps, the elusive gains of our economic growth. For example, I would like to give one small example.
Please.
If you look at the budget of Dhaka North City Corporation and Dhaka South City Corporation, Dhaka North City Corporation gets an allocation of $700 million. Dhaka South City Corporation gets an allocation of $500 million US. Combined together, Dhaka North and South, Dhaka City Corporation gets $1.2 billion US per fiscal year. On the contrary, if you look at Narangban City Corporation only gets $80 million US. Rangpur City Corporation only gets $100 million US. The problem is not concentration of people in our Dhaka city. The problem is the rest of the metropolitan areas in Bangladesh, whether it's Mymensingh City Corporation, whether it's Sylhet City Corporation, whether it's Rangpur City Corporation, or whether if it's Narangban City Corporations. It's fundamentally underfunded. This is not equitable resource allocation. And unless we install and instill district level governments, we can never trickle down our wealth. The top 1% will continue to get richer and the poor will continue to get poorer, as has been the case since our liberation 52 years back. With a centralized system, we're never going to see fundamental progress, especially for the people in the grassroots. It's never ever going to happen. It hasn't happened in the past 52 years, and unless we take the initiative to decentralize our wealth, to decentralize power, to decentralize people in positions of authority in the district level, in the sub-district level, in the union level, we're never going to see transformative change in people's lives. Yes, some people have grown 10x, 200x, 1000x. Some companies are doing amazingly well. But you calculate the GDP per capita without the richest 1% of our country. That is the undeniable truth of our economy today. On the onset of the COVID crisis, we were clearly exposed that almost 45% of the entire population of Bangladesh went below the poverty line. And that goes to show the fragility of our economy. It is fundamentally fragile. It is built not only on the rich, it's built on the super rich, the ultra rich, the mega rich. There has to be greater disbursement of wealth. There has to be greater egalitarian. Of course, I don't deny that in a capitalist system that there will be inequality. It is a byproduct of a capitalist system. However, if you have 100 to 500 families that are controlling maybe 80% of the state's wealth, this is an economic oligarchy. I have to bluntly say it, without any prejudice, without any partisanship or any political bias. We're headed towards an economic oligarchy. This cannot continue, with due respect. The concept of university is acquiring universal knowledge. However, our universities are only focused on top courses. Unfortunately, these universities have to be transformed into researching hubs. If you look at the R&D expenditure as a proportion of GDP of Israel, for instance, they're spending 8% of their GDP on research and development. South Korea is a technological powerhouse. They're spending 4% of their GDP on research and development. On the contrary, Bangladesh is only spending 0.3% of their GDP on research and development. So as you understand, there is a massive disparity. Bangladeshi government and our private and public universities need to invest in research and development. They need to invest in cutting-edge technology. Bangladesh by no means is a poor country. Bangladesh today is the 35th richest country in the world. On PPP terms, if you're just for purchasing power parity, Bangladesh is the 27th richest country in the world. It is absolutely not a poor country. However, what we do have is a tremendous misallocation of resources. What we do have is a tremendous inequality of wealth. Bangladesh in the next 5 to 10 years will not only be a part of the G20 economy, but I honestly do believe that Bangladesh has the potential to be a $2 trillion economy. There is absolutely no doubt. If we are the 35th richest country in the world today, imagine if we have sustained continuity. Imagine if we have inclusive prosperity, where we incorporate the people in the grassroots into our mainstream economic arena. Imagine the potential. This is the age of artificial intelligence. This is the age of mRNA technology. This is the age of DNA sequencing. And without a shadow of a doubt, this is the age of robotics. We have to facilitate our young entrepreneurs. And mind you, that 80% of the entirety of the Bangladeshi population is below the age of 35. Imagine what we can do if we could only mobilize and take full advantage of our demographic dividend.
Robot news presenter introduced.
Correct.
What is your
Absolutely.
opinion?
Yes, I mean, we cannot deny the power of artificial intelligence. It's only a matter of time, not if. It's only a matter of time until AI takes over the world. Look at the power of ChatGPT and the power of Microsoft, Apple, Google, Tesla. We're using their products every single second of the day. Whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Facebook Messenger, whatever it may be, we're using their products every single step of the way. However, what can we do as Bangladeshis to make investments or make strategic investments? And I have a proposition here, and I thank you for raising the point. The Norwegian pension fund. I know that Bangladesh recently has inaugurated a nationwide pension fund for our pensioners. The Norwegian pension fund has an accumulated wealth totaling close to $1.2 trillion. They made a strategic investment in Apple in 2016 worth $1 billion. Today, the investment has reaped almost 800% returns. Imagine if the Bangladeshi government could invest or allow retail investors, common investors to invest in global financial markets. Our only investment schemes in Bangladesh is the Sanchoy Potro and fixed deposit. Fixed deposit gives you a 7% net return. Sanchoy Potro gives a return of 10%. When in a country where inflation is at 12% or 14%, we're losing money by investing, not making money. So I propose to the Bangladeshi government that through formal banking channels, allow Bangladeshi investors to invest in global financial markets. Allow them to invest in companies like Google, Apple, Tesla, Meta, etc. Apple, for instance, has a net cash reserve worth $166 billion. We cannot deny the power of American big tech.
Exactly.
We have to allow Bangladesh investors to make these strategic investments.
Finally, sir, would you like to say something about our political situation?
Look, as you understand, politics and economics are intertwined. It's absolutely interdependent on one another.
Yeah, also interrelated.
Absolutely. Without economic cohesion, without economic equity, we're never going to have political stability.